Welcome to The Network, a modern podcast version of the Negro Motorist Green Book. I've had the chance to interview some of my favorite people. Every episode is designed to help our community navigate the funky four corners of life. We are here to help the physical, mental, spiritual, and financial health of Black people living in and traveling through America. Subscribe to The Network. You never know. You might need it.
Oh, ad event?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you need to give me that contact.
Nah, bro, you don't want that content.
That's the one that when the storm fried.
Yeah, you don't want that content. Bro,
The bust your head.
bust my shit. All right, man, here we go. You know Jay-Z's real name, right?
Sean Carter.
Sean Carter. So listen, in the words of Sean Carter, today's guest is not a businessman. He's a businessman. All right, let me introduce this brother. I got some things I need to run down to you. First off, he's a husband of 20 years, recently celebrated an anniversary.
Yep.
All right, so husband of 20 years. He's not new to this. He's true to this. Two beautiful children, Mackenzie and Peyton. All right, this brother is a graduate of Southern University and Agriculture and Mechanical College, where he received his Bachelor of Science in Marketing and a Master's in Public Administration. While on the yard at Southern University, he was a respected student leader in the Southern University Human Jukebox. Y'all know how it goes, often imitated, never duplicated. All right. So he was a member of the Beta Gamma, Sigma, and Golden Key National Honor Societies. He is an active member in the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated and the Southern University Alumni Federation. He volunteers in his community and is always seeking ways to continuously give back. Now let's get to the business.
Mhm.
This brother is a professional, all right? A professional marketing and brand management enthusiast with more than 20 years of combined experience in the design, development, and implementation of cutting-edge, revolutionary marketing and branding strategies. After years in corporate America, he decided to pursue his dream of managing his own firm and started J. Morgan and Associates LLC. What does he do in his firm? Let me tell you. He advises many business leaders across a broad range of marketing functions and diverse industry segments. He is highly motivated, results focused, with a superior ability to combine vision, creativity, and strong business acumen with well-developed project management qualities to support consumer marketing campaigns, project launching, and rebranding initiatives. What does he do? He positions companies and products for success. I told you, he's not a businessman. He's a businessman. So y'all welcome virtually, whether you're watching or listening to today's guest, Mr. Jabari Morgan. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, brother, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great.
Pleasure
Look, it's
to
good
be
to
here.
have the good 99 bros in the building with me today. So,
Yep.
man, listen. The first thing we do
Mhm.
is we give flowers. All right.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
who would you like to give flowers today? We don't wait until people die. We
Mhm.
want to give them their flowers while they're still in this realm. So, who you
Wow,
got?
man, it's a bouquet of
Okay.
of
Okay.
flowers. I mean, giving honor to God for who He has made me to be and protect me and everything. But personally, my parents for raising me to be the man I am today. Uh, uh, my beautiful wife, Dr. Monique Morgan.
Dr. Morgan.
Yeah, Dr. Morgan. Gotta
That's
say
it.
it. Gotta
That's
put
it.
gotta put the doctor in front of it. Just for being support backbone, man. For everything that I've like been through. Like we've been through a lot together and grown together. And so, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be sitting in the chair with you without her support. So
That's what's
she
up.
makes me who I am. So
That's what's up.
and as a role model for our daughter. So I definitely gotta give her flowers. And then professionally, I mean it's several people that poured into me, giving me advice. Several of them are brothers of our beloved chapter. Brother Kelvin Coney is one that comes to mind. Um, Very, very, very smart, intelligent brother that gives a lot of advice and guidance on things that I can approach. My partner, Weber Markin, Derek Weber, very brilliant mind. He's a Hampton grad, HBCU grad. So,
That's what's up.
those are some key folks that important to me. Keith Hodge, from Beta Sigma. So yeah, I like to, acknowledge those brothers for pouring into me and sharing things with me.
That's good, man. That's good. Not just flowers, but a bouquet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we dive in, so I know people are gonna need to find you.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna need to find you. So if people want to get in contact with you, or if they just want to follow you on social media,
Yep.
where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram, Twitter, at next level, NXT, then level, LELVL Morgan, next level Morgan. Uh, someone called me that in passing. Man, you do stuff at the next level, man. You always next level. So I just took it on as a signal, and so at next level Morgan, but NXT level Morgan.
Okay.
Follow me there. Mm-hmm.
NXT Level Morgan. You can
Mm-hmm.
find them on Twitter and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if they want to go to the website, can they go
Yeah,
there?
jmorganfirm.com.
All right.
Yep.
jmorganfirm.com.
Firm.com.
All right. So y'all heard of that. So y'all go and find this brother. Y'all go ahead and give him a follow. Listen, my opinion, he's a genius. In my opinion. All right. So man, we're gonna dive into this thing. We don't wait too long to get into this. So I want to go back to I want to talk about the band first.
Okay.
So can we talk about the Human Jukebox a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right. So the often imitated, never duplicated Southern University Human Jukebox. You were a member of the marching band there.
Yeah.
So where did that love for music for you begin?
Honestly, my dad, my dad was a musician and marching in Southern bands as well. So I was second generation. But growing up as a youth, we had, back in the day, we had crates and crates of music. My dad bought, man, and he got, we still kind of at odds for some of the classes he got rid of, but some of those vinyls. But I mean, I listened to all sorts of music, and he really got me involved in music at a young age, and I started taking percussion lessons as a kindergartner.
Okay.
Alton Bay Senior was my percussion instructor right on right down Hardin Boulevard at the community daycare right there. So I started playing drums when I was in kindergarten.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then matriculated. When I got to middle school, I got into brass instruments, but drums was always a foundation, rhythm and stuff. And so for me, I believe it helped me in math. Definitely helped me in math. Uh, I believe the arts are important. With math and science, because it's counting. It's most people that excel in music are excel in math and science. So art need to be supported. So
True story.
So yeah, that's where it started. We had a ritual every Friday night. He went to Capitol High, so we go to Capitol High game Friday night, and Saturday we'd be on the yard watching Jaguars. And at one point we had probably the most season books, and we had game shirts. I mean, we had the whole. It's like 30, 40 of us, man.
Oh, wow.
We had the whole setup. So I was raised in it, man. To be honest with you, that's where my love for the band started.
So a lot of people, myself included, right? So we see it from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So man, if you could describe in like 10 words or less what it's like to march in the Human Jukebox, what is that like?
I kind of equate life in the band similar to and some folks might not like this, especially from Louisiana, like Alabama football.
Okay.
Right? It's a system.
Okay.
Our band is a system, and it was structure from all the way back from T. Leroy Davis to Lover Freeman, who's Beta Sigma.
Okay.
Lover Freeman was my dad's band director. He's a Beta Sigma Spring 52.
Okay.
He was a band director right before Dr. Greggs.
Okay.
So, but Dr. Greggs is known for making the band the Human Jukebox. So man, it's a system. It's a system approach, man. It's excellence. It's perseverance. It's there were so many things that we learned. That I apply to adult life, like he say. The things you're gonna learn here, you can apply in the adult life. But to be early, like one of them, to be early is to be on time. Like you can't be somewhere at 7 and it's prepared to start at 7. You got to be early to be prepared for 7.
Right.
So stuff like that, just sticks with us. So yeah, it was, definitely structure. A system of excellence, and you had to be tough and do it, man. It wasn't a cakewalk. Like we practiced a lot, but we practiced for perfection. We didn't practice just to be practicing, So
I remember when I first got to the yard,
mm-hmm.
and man, the band would be out there.
Oh, yeah.
in that parking lot
Yeah,
late at night.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
long days, man.
They,
Long days.
yeah.
I don't think anybody practices more than the band.
Nobody on that campus practice more. Nobody practice more. I think now they don't practice as long as we used to practice because Doc was older in his age and
Yeah,
he just loved when you working your passion,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah, we practiced long hours, to make sure because it's you're not competing against like we don't have any competition. It's not the other bands.
right.
You're competing against the previous years.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like what the previous year did, we have to outdo that. Or maintain that standard excellent tradition, which is a lot of pressure. And
we,
now with social media, like back when I was in band, we do a few shows.
yeah,
We do a home show, we do it at away, and you can
yeah.
probably make it through the season. Now with
That's
social
not
media,
enough.
yeah, people want new stuff every weekend. That's a lot of pressure.
That
You
is,
know,
that
you think
is.
about it. So I look at how the band operates now, and I work with them in the marketing capacity. Just seeing those kids and the music level of musicianship and the things they have to do creative to keep people entertained. We're hard. Southern's a hard crowd to please.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
if you can please Mumford, you can be successful anywhere. So
So, and that's why you compared it to Alabama football.
when you just think about like the mainstays, Alabama football. When you think of LSU, what you think about? Football. When you think of Kentucky or Duke, what you think about?
Yeah,
Basketball.
basketball.
Right. So
When
when
you
you
think
think of
about
Southern University,
Southern,
human jukebox.
you thinking about the band.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Yeah. All
Let's keep it
100%.
real.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we think of Southern, we think of the band.
Yeah.
Okay, so man, so speaking of the band,
Mm-hmm.
this weekend
Mm-hmm.
you got the National Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
All right, so talk about that.
So National Battle of Bands is a cultural experience that we like to showcase here in the Houston market. We have 8 HBCU bands from across the country. We fly 3 bands in, first class experience. They get, they stay in 4 or 5 star hotels. 3 meals a day. Like it's a great experience. And it's basically a kickoff to the fall season. It's a showcase of talent. This year we're doing a tribute to the 50-year hip hop.
Oh
So we got
man.
Dougie Fresh,
Oh, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna
Slim
be nice.
Thug,
Yeah,
Zero, Kiki,
yeah,
Chopper.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we paying homage to that to hip hop and a lot of bands play a lot of hip hop and
yeah.
things like that. But it's a music culture. It is all to support music arts and education. This year, as a firm, we will have given back. We will eclipse $1 million in scholarships given back to HBCUs because every band that participates gets scholarship donation on top of having all their accommodations and everything taken care of. So it's all paid free expense for them to come out. They don't have the expense anything. We take care of everything.
Okay, man. So
But also we have right before we have a college and career fair, HBCU STEM college and career fair that has grown in scale. We have 36 confirmed HBCUs they're recruiting and offering scholarships on the spot, and then some companies will be out there doing
doing
career
recruitment.
recruitment for careers.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. So like you said, it's the kickoff to the fall, but it's an experience. It's
Yeah.
not just an event, it's an experience.
Yeah.
So 2 days,
Yeah. 2 days.
2 days, Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So man, I was there last year,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm a HBC alum.
Right.
Man, I was blown away.
Wow.
So number one, the first thing that blew me away was we're in NRG.
Mm-hmm.
What was the crowd? What were the numbers?
We had 55,000 people last year.
55,000. 55,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday,
August 26th.
August 26th.
Mm-hmm.
What time?
The STEM College and Career Fair starts at 1:30, so it's from 1:30 to 4:30. And then the event gates open at 4:30. Event starts at 5:30. We have a pre-show at 5. Event starts at 6.
Okay. So listen, you need to be there. If you are in shouting distance of Houston, Texas, you need to be there.
Yeah.
55 last year. I know they're going to eclipse it. Unfortunately, I can't make it. It's the same day as my parents' 50th wedding anniversary.
50
So we
year
got
hip hop, 50
year hip hop.
50 anniversary.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's a big one. That's a
50
milestone.
years, man. So
Yeah.
milestone. So unfortunately, I won't be able to be there. So
But I do want to mention one thing. On Friday,
go ahead.
so it's a 2-day event. So on Friday, we kick it off with, we call it the Immersion Experience. It's an entrepreneurial conference that we do in partnership with JP Morgan Chase. Is we have 4 amazing panelists that's going to be talking about businesses, how to scale businesses, how to grow your business, how to connect with supplier diversity chains, how to get registered as a vendor, even like as a supplier to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot. Like, how do you get your products? How do you get your services connected to these companies? So and you can go to nationalbattlebands.com and you can register there.
What time?
That starts at 9 o'clock. It's at the Deluxe Theater in Fifth Ward, Houston. So
Listen,
that's a free event. It's free event. That night we have Back to the Yard Fest at Texas Southern. It's a stroll off competition. We
okay,
got $4,000 on the line
okay,
for them to come out. So that's been a new property that we added to it. And then on Saturday morning, before the college fair, we feed the homeless downtown as an outreach to community in partnership with Cracker Barrel. They serve 200 meals. Pepsi will be providing hydration, beverages and stuff. So yes, I mean it's a full culture weekend that we've been able to grow in this community, and we have the support of Texans, the Harris County Sports Star, the City of Houston, the Harris County Judge. I mean, everybody's bought into this event.
man. It's a great. Listen, it's gonna be a great weekend
Yeah,
in Houston for HBCU graduates,
yeah,
for potential HBCU students,
yes.
for anybody who is just connected to the culture.
hmm
Because if you didn't go to HBCU, you're gonna wish you did.
Yeah, they're blown away. Folks
You
always
know,
say they're blown away when they come and see the pageantry, the precision, the excitement, the entertainment, and these bands coming in like they gonna bring their best,
yeah,
and so this is your first impression to the season to
that's it.
fans, right?
That's it.
So there's no half stepping.
Okay, so we're gonna circle back to that because I
Okay,
want you to hit all of those events again.
okay,
But man, this is massive. This is monumental.
yeah, yeah.
So tell me how this started. Tell me how the National
Battle
Battle of the
Band started.
Bands
So
started.
the National Battle Bands originally was in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was, Weber Marketing started the Queen City Battle of Bands, and it was in community stadium, had maybe a capacity of 13 to 20,000, maybe
Mhm.
maybe 20 was capacity, and it had been there 5 years, all the way up to 19, and it's got to a point to where the capacity, you bring in these big bands,
Yeah,
you're gonna have so many fans, and this is a passion project for us, man. It's very very costly event, because of the way we do it,
yeah,
first class experience for these students, and we want to make sure that they experience that. Like I said, we flying in 3 bands.
yeah, yeah,
We look at the proximity to Houston. Okay, what's a comfortable transport for them. You don't want a band on the bus 18, 20 hours coming to the
right,
event, right?
right, right.
So the fact that they're able to come here. So started there, and unfortunately they went to like the Panthers, try to get a bigger stadium. Our city leadership there, and it just didn't work out. They didn't see the vision of it, and Houston was like, bring it here.
Yeah,
And at that
yeah,
time I was
yeah.
here, because I originally met Derek Webb and the Weber team in 16 when Southern Band went. Southern
Okay,
was the first time going to Queen City, and that's where we connected. So we've been connected since 2016,
okay, okay.
um, as brothers in arms in this business. But yeah, so when Houston's like, bring it here, it was a big leap of faith to have an established event in another
Right.
city on another side of the country
Yeah.
and just start all over here, right? But we had already had national ballot bands, you know, as a vision, had already had a trademark and stuff, because we knew we were gonna do something nationally.
Uh-huh.
So it was just God's timing, man. It made perfect sense, and the way Harris County Houston Sports Star supports us. I mean, it's the same. They're responsible for bringing the big events to
To
Houston.
Houston.
The Final Four,
Final Four,
college
Super
football
Bowl,
playoffs, Super
all
Bowl.
those things.
So we are in the company of those type of events now. They look at our event as college football playoff Final Four. Like we are their marquee African American event.
Man, that's excellent. All
Yeah.
right, so now do this for everybody
hmm
watching or listening.
hmm
So I want you to run back through the events
Events.
Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Run through the events, what time and where, because I want to make sure that everybody who is going to catch this
Yeah.
has the opportunity to get
And we'll send you some support for that too,
there.
collateral
Okay.
wise. But on Friday we have the Emerging Experience Entrepreneur Conference at the Deluxe Theater from 9 to 2. That's presented by J.P. Morgan Chase. Uh, Friday evening we have the Back to the Yard Fest stroll out competition. It's on Texas Southern's campus.
Okay.
That event starts at 5 or 5 o'clock. Saturday morning we feed the homeless. downtown. That event starts at 10. It's pretty efficient. 1:30 is the National Battle of the Bands HBCU STEM College and Career Fair. So from 1:30 to 4:30, we have that over at NRG Center, which is diagonally from the stadium across from the Astrodome. I think we're in Exhibit Hall D. I said we have 36 colleges. We have a number of corporate partners that be there, sharing career opportunities with their companies. And then at 4:30, the gates of the stadium open, and we kick off at 5:30.
And then it is.
Yep.
So listen, full weekend. Make
Mhm.
sure y'all are ready. All right, let me do this real quick. So I'm here with Next Level Morgan. That's where you can find him at NXT
Level.
All right, at Next Level Morgan. So listen, if you are listening to this podcast, like, share. If you're listening on Apple, man, give us that 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that little thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and then y'all hit the bell so you get the notifications. So every time the episode drops, you get the notification. All right, Jabari.
Bet.
So, man, listen, we talked about the experience of being in the human jukebox.
Mhm.
We talked about this weekend's event that's coming up, the National Battle of the Bands, that everybody needs to make sure they go and partake in some of the activities. You know, if you can't catch the Battle of the Bands, try to catch something on Friday or maybe Saturday morning. All right, so before we, get to the exit ticket, man, I want you to talk about 2 things. One, I want you to talk about your why. Okay, why it is you do what you do. But you can pick the order you want to talk about it in. But I also want you to talk about this leap of faith that you took, leaving corporate America to start J. Morgan and Associates.
Yeah.
So you can talk about it in whatever order you want to.
Yeah.
But talk about that a little bit.
I think the why leads to why I took a leap of faith. To be honest with you, my why is, I'm passionate about helping others, and I'm passionate about our people and celebrating, our culture and what we contributed to this country. I think HBCUs are pillars of communities. Just like churches are. HBCUs were gateway to education. When we couldn't be educated as a people somewhere else, so they have a vital importance. 70% of uh, your technical, I would say specialized careers, doctors, lawyers, teachers, over 50. I mean, some of them 70%. 7% of the world's lawyers come from HBCUs. Like those statistics are out there. I don't want to just get them wrong, but I know it's over 50% of every specialized field.
That's right.
HBCUs play a part into into equipping America's workforce, right?
That's right.
And so we have so many bright minds. I tell this story. I tell this story all the time, like why I'm so entrenched in HBCUs, right? And it's always been, you go there and you see it, and you work in corporate America, and I was in finance for over 20 years, and kind of fell into that. It wasn't nothing that I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a finance major, I'm gonna work in finance. It's just the opportunity presented itself, and I just grew in that industry. But when you look at, I tell people like my grandmother worked in the cafeteria at Southern,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And that job funded my mom and her 2 sisters to go to Southern. My mom met my dad at Southern. I went to Southern. I met my wife at Southern. My daughter is a sophomore at Spelman. So we HBCU through and through,
Through and through.
Yeah, I think of just in my family, we have like, it's probably like 31 or 32 now graduates just of Southern University.
Wow.
In my family.
Wow.
Across,
That's
my mom and
outstanding.
dad. Yes, it's a I was doing a presentation. I'm like, hey, let me just think about that. How many people from my family, cousins, aunts, graduated from Southern University, right? Just Southern, and so that's my why, man. I wanna continue to share that value, continue to share the worth of what HBCUs are, to this country and being the fabric of society. And I mean, the current vice president of the United States is a HBCU graduate. So it's important. And I think that's what leads you to, taking a leap of faith. I'm reminded of a quote that Usain Bolt said. I trained 4 years for 9 seconds. I mean, you familiar with that, right? So I trained 4 years for 9 seconds, and some people give up after 2 months. You know, when you don't reach your goals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, being an entrepreneur is not easy. You know, and I think you know I know the things that I went through in corporate America, like the structure, the training, particularly at J.P. Morgan Chase. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's so refreshing because now J.P. Morgan Chase is one of my clients, right?
Yeah.
So just look how that look how that world works,
Full circle.
full circle. You know, and just that like the structure that you have if you working for somebody else, you still have to have a certain structure if you working for yourself because you have to look at yourself as a business. You know, you have to look at yourself as you know as a corporation. Like, what would you do if you was working for somewhere else? Well, treat your business the same way you would do that.
Listen, I
Right?
told y'all he's not a businessman. He's a business
Yeah.
man.
So you know, just growing, and you know, I had to get to a point. Uh, I wanted to grow my business a point financially to where you know I got to a point where it's okay if I can subsidize my income or replace the income that I'm giving somebody 8 hours to,
Right. Right.
and then I could give it to myself. What more can I do? What more reach would I have? You know how much more impact can I have?
Hold on. I want you to say that again. I want you to look right into the camera
Hmm.
because people need to listen. This is a word,
Yeah.
a gym, fire, whatever you want to say. Say that again. Look into the camera and say that again. People need to hear
So as you approaching your business, you know, you need to look at how to replace your income. 'Cause you gotta live. You know, my best friend has a quote that he says, you know, everybody want to be, you know, I'm a bag. I'm coming back to the point because this
that.
came up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm passionate about this. You know, people say, man, you need to work at what you're passionate at. Work your passion. That's where you're gonna be happy. Well, passion without finances is misery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Passion without
Yeah.
finances is misery,
Yeah.
right? So you can work your passion, but if you can't afford to stay in a living and support your family, it's gonna be some miserable folks around you, right?
That's right.
So I had to grow my business to a point to where I can replace my income to make sure I can maintain a standard of living. Now there's some things that you have to have to do away with for a period of time. Like you have to scale
You
back
had
on
to
some
make some
things,
sacrifices.
make some sacrifice. Okay, we ain't gonna be able to do this. We're not gonna be able to do it like this. But this is why we have to do that. You know, and I had those talks with Monique. You know,
Yeah.
Dr.
Dr. Morgan.
Dr. Mark, you know, and like, hey, this is where I'm going. This is and have and tried and failed many a times, right? Until you get it right. So you know, you have to make sure that you can replace, you know, the income that you have, so you can maintain a standard of living and have a trajectory to keep that income stream coming in. Because people say multiple streams of income, multiple streams of income. Yeah, that sounds great, but where how do you establish those multiple streams of income, and will they be residual income? You know, was it something that can continue to give you the resources you need to be successful
That's
and
it.
maintain your family? So yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
So
So that left to that when I got to that point, and I'll be quite honest with you, man. Like I was taking PTO, going to do meetings, flying here and there, and I,
yeah.
you know, and praying to God. I was like, you know, and I just had a conviction on my heart, like I'm not 100% here at this company,
Mm-hmm.
and I know God can't bless me
Yeah.
without having the a spirit of integrity and being right about
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I just had to have faith, like you know what, God, you never fail me. Like you always
Yeah.
have come through. You always have
Man.
guided me. So I was like, and I was in a position where like he was like showing like, hey, here, look, here is the land of milk and honey. Like go, you know. And there's a verse in the Bible that talks about. And this another key thing that folks need to know. Everything you need to be successful is already around
That's it.
you.
That's
The
it.
capital resources, the human resources, the knowledge. I mean, so many things are so accessible now. Like you can get information fast, but there's a Bible verse about tilling the ground,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And what does a gardener do when they get ready to plant new seed? They don't go get new dirt.
That's right.
They till the ground
Turn that
because
ground.
nobody's making new dirt.
That's right.
All the dirt in the world has been made is made.
You gotta break it up.
Got to break it up.
Break up that
Get
fallow
the
ground.
get the nitros going again, and pull the weeds out and plant your seed again. The soil is the soil, and a good soil produces good seed. So that's the point, man. Just if you can be at that point where you can replace the income and you grow. And I just got to the point where I ran out of PTO.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
And you talked about, man, you said, listen, if I can replace my income,
Hmm.
how much more impact can I have?
Yeah, and
Because now you in control of your time.
yes, and how how many more opportunities can I go and create? Because the time that it would take for me to manage one client, now I can so I can see how, and I have it by days. Like I deal with a lot of Fortune 100 companies, so I have like this day is this company's day because I just know how intensive it is,
Yeah.
And we have weekly meetings with with their teams, and so you can manage your day and your time and your calendar like that. Like my calendar is my best friend, and so when I know, I say okay, and then when I get to a point, okay, this is getting a little bit too much for me, then I go and bring on. Now I can hire. I can bring on another teammate
The
and
associates.
and reproduce myself.
Yeah.
I use the law of threes. And I did it at the bank. Because in my position at the bank, I had to rely on bankers to refer me clients because I was in private client. So the bankers would meet with customers every day I don't see. So they would have to identify, oh, this might be a good person you could talk to and refer them to me, right?
Okay.
So my job was, okay, let me train this person on how to identify those opportunities so that when they come to me, it'll be good for both the client and myself. So yeah, just the scale of your business, it's almost like starting a church. Like you start in the living room,
Yeah.
then you get a building,
Yeah.
right? And then you have one service, and then you put the extra chairs down the aisle,
There it is.
right?
Yeah.
And then when the extra chairs come down the aisle, okay, now I go to the second service, you know.
Right.
So
You have
that's
that
the
second
same.
service.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
second service busting, then it's like, okay,
yeah. I either need a
now we might need to get a new building.
building. Yeah. So yeah, same way. It's just this scale it so it's manageable, and because the main thing you want to be is consistent in your quality. Like, you don't want to diminish the quality of your work, the reputation of your name, because in this business, all you have.
Okay. Man,
Yeah.
that's good. So I don't want y'all to miss this.
Mm-hmm.
This brother talked about having integrity. I really don't want y'all to miss that because he talked about the conviction that came when he was using the PTO, but then he talked about the correction.
Yeah.
The correction that came from the conviction.
Yeah.
Man, and let me say this, man, I've been fortunate to watch you.
They know the wall. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I remember you telling me, yeah, man, I think I'm gonna be able to walk away.
Yeah.
So I remember you telling me those things because the seeds were planted.
Yeah. Yeah.
The seeds were planted,
Yeah.
so you were just kind of, hey man, it's coming. It's coming. So man, I've been, man, I'm proud of you. One,
Appreciate it,
man, and I'm fortunate and blessed, man, to watch you grow and to watch you scale, man, and the love that you have for your wife and your family. So man, just being able to see that, man, I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things. So you talked about seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So man, that's important because I was watching the Bishop Thomas Dexter on Sunday, and that's what he talked about. So I actually ended up retweeting one of the things he said, and you actually just talked about it, man. So listen, don't miss the seed plant neither.
Yeah.
Everything that you have is within your reach.
Yeah.
So if you looking a little stale, if things looking a little stale around you, man, go and break up that ground. Break up that ground.
Yeah.
Man, you ready to transition?
I'm following you, brother.
You follow me?
I'm
All
I'm
right, man.
I'm,
So
I'm
we
blessed
gonna
to be on the network.
listen, man. I'm blessed to have you here.
Yeah.
So listen, y'all, we getting ready to we're gonna transition. So we're gonna get to the exit ticket.
Okay.
All right. So we kind of coming to the back end of this conversation. So we're gonna get to the exit ticket. The exit ticket is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So 5 random questions.
Okay.
All right. Actually, I'm probably gonna give you more than 5.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna kind of throw them at you. Now they got a bookend. Questions do have a bookend. I'm gonna ask one question, and then I'm gonna hit some rapid questions, and then I'm gonna ask the last bookend question.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
So, all right, y'all, we getting ready to hit the exit ticket. We're gonna start with the 5. We call this the Furious 5 plus some, because it's probably gonna be more than 5. All right. So the first question, man, I ask everybody this question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Man, superpower would probably be reading minds.
Okay.
If I could read minds, because when you're pitching business, when you're pitching things, you're looking at body language. There's a lot of signs you got. You're looking at body language. You're hearing what folks say on the receptive, like how they responded. You know what I'm saying? So I have a competitive advantage, but I know how you're thinking before before I offer a solution. That would be amazing. So it's I have some internal instincts, a lot of stuff already, but I think superpower, that would be it.
Mind reader. Okay.
Mind reader.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, man. Would you rather work or play?
Well, I definitely work.
Night in or a night out?
Night in.
Drive or fly?
Fly.
Talk or text?
Text.
All right. You rather learn by watching or doing?
I learned by watching, actually.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, man. Would you rather have money or happiness?
Happiness.
All right. Summer or winter?
Definitely summer.
Okay.
I don't like
Even this summer.
I don't like cold weather, man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
listen,
I can. And it's been pretty rough now,
it's
but
rough. It's
but
rough.
I don't like cold weather. I don't keep saying.
All right. I got about 3 or 4 more for you.
No, it's
All
all
right.
good. Let's go. I like this.
You rather have your dream job or win the lottery?
Oh, I win a lottery because I'm already living in my dream. So if I had a
Okay.
lottery, it's over.
Bam.
With. It's over. With. Especially knowing from finance, knowing what to do with it. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Win a lottery.
Early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
All right. If you wrote a book, what would it be about?
My book will be about being blessed through foods.
Okay. Being blessed through foods.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
copyrighted already.
Hey,
I'm writing that book.
that's what I'm talking about. All
Yeah.
right, man. Here we go. Last question. Do you have your own Netflix account or you using somebody else's?
Oh, definitely use somebody else. But it's an even trade because he used
Yeah.
my Disney Plus.
Okay.
So
There it
it's a
is.
community property.
Listen, I've been asking that question for the last few episodes. You'd be
Nobody
surprised. I
nobody
think it's
else
been one
to
person
say
that got
I
their
got my
own
own account.
Netflix account. Listen, I'm gonna be right. Look, in the Prejean household, we are the account that everybody else is using. So, man,
Yeah,
all right, listen.
I should.
That was the Furious Five.
Okay.
So this brings us to the Funky Four, man. The
Mhm.
Funky Four.
Mhm.
So this is the foundation of this podcast. The Funky Four corners of life. So
Oh, I see what you did there with the funky folk.
there it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you gonna share with us the best advice you've received physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start with physically. What's the best advice you've received to take care of your physical health?
Man, you have to take care of your health to be of good health to others. So if
That's
you're gonna
good.
be in in a service life, then you got to be healthy to be able to serve. So,
That's it,
mhm.
man. I'm seeing now. So man, I try to when I can be a mental health advocate, mental and physical health
Mhm.
advocate,
Mhm.
because for a long time, man, people weren't. I met people who were mad at other people
Mhm.
for looking out for themselves.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
it's like, man, why are you mad at them
Right.
for looking out for themselves first? Because if they don't take care of self, then they can't take care of nobody else.
Yes.
But I'm seeing a shift in that
Yes.
thinking.
Yes.
I'm seeing a shift in that thinking.
It
So that's good.
is needed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Mentally, what is the best mental health advice you've received?
So I didn't even know it was advice, mental advice. But when I graduated from high school, my uncle, Jock Landry, gave me a pen in the box, and it said, and the message on the card said, "You may lose in life, but don't lose the lesson."
Good.
Right.
Good stuff.
So mentally, when people have failure, it affects them differently, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so instead of focusing on the failure, focus on why the failure happened. Like, what was the root cause of it? What
Yeah.
could you have
Yeah.
done differently? So that's kind of like, now as I'm older, I understand that.
That's good stuff.
So mentally, that's why I keep my play. Me and my wife yin and yang. I'm nonchalant.
Yeah.
I'm the calm, serene one. She from NOLA.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
she she a whoa. I call her PYT, pretty young thug. She a whoa, right? So she
Yeah.
everything, and so but it's man, that beautiful spirit is what keeps our house going too, though, right? And keeps
Yeah.
me out of a lot of trouble sometimes because she's
Yeah.
looking at stuff that I a different lens that I'm not looking for, right?
Yeah.
But don't lose. You may lose in life. You're gonna take some L's.
Right.
Everybody take
Right.
L's,
Right.
right? But don't lose a lesson. So learn from that, and that's gonna help your mental health.
That's good stuff, man. That's good
Hmm.
stuff. All right. So that's physically, mentally.
Hmm.
So best spiritual advice that you have received.
Man, the best spiritual advice I ever received is, and I this is one of my favorite verses in the Bible
Yeah.
is Romans 14:17 through 18, and it says, for the matters of the kingdom are not about eating and drinking, but righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. And those who live this life in Christ are pleasing to God and acceptable to man. Right? So spiritually, if you're doing the things of Christ, if you're doing the things of God, right, and God favors you, then man will have to bow down. There's
Right.
nothing man can do though. Fred haven't seen no weapon formed against me.
That's
Like
right.
it's literally nothing And trust me, I've had all type of arrows hit me. But spiritually, when you're doing the right thing, now when you're wrong, you're wrong. You
That
got to be
is.
corrected.
That is.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like some people be wrong and they want to go spiritual, like, oh, nah, you got to look at that self reflection and that conviction and have some correction. You said it earlier,
Yeah.
conviction leads to correction, right?
That's it.
But if you lead a life that's pleasing to God and He favors you, is like man gonna have to approve. Like, it's so many people want the relationship of man. They want
Right.
man to affirm them. They want the man to
Right.
say, and it's men. When I say man, I'm talking about mankind,
Mankind.
men
Yeah.
and women,
Men and
right?
women.
Yeah,
Folks. People.
folks, people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man, I gotta be the man. You see it so much on social media, man. It's so much, you know, fakeness on social media.
Yeah.
It's not real because it,
Yeah.
it, get- it creates a platform you can have an alternate universe, right? And so that's trying to please man, and that always leads to failure.
That is, man. That's good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. That's
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. All right. So that's physically, mentally,
Yes, yes.
spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
financially. Now this one, I'm excited about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that you got a finance background,
Mm-hmm.
all right, I know you're getting ready to give us something good to chew
Well,
on.
I said a little bit earlier,
Hit it
uh,
again,
uh, passion without finances is misery,
man. Listen,
right? So you could be passionate about wanting a big house and wanting this and wanting this and living beyond your means, and putting yourself in financial obscurity. Um, but like I said before, it has to be a approach to how you grow your business and I mean how you maintain your lifestyle. Because a lot of times, as an entrepreneur, your personal finances is funding your business,
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And so you have to treat it as such and compartmentalize, the limits to where what I'm not going to affect my personal finance to push this endeavor because it just is not in the best interest of my family, right? And if you do that, always seek the advice of a reputable financial professional because there's a lot of them out there that's not
definitely,
reputable. Because
yeah,
I work in the industry. We got paid on signatures, right? And what I mean by that is, I'm talking to you. You have your 401k, your retirement,
mm-hmm.
all that stuff, and I'm telling you what you should do with it. And you sign on the paper, and then we do all the work to transfer it to us. This person got paid on that,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
this is your livelihood. So
yeah,
there's a level of integrity and trust that goes into trusting someone with your finances. So always find vet two or three. Um, you know, uh, always look at like I always look at folks that like you follow. Like this is a growing network, so I'm quite sure you have some podcasts you watch to get stuff from and learn from,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you want to look at somebody as above where you are
That's right,
per se, and see what are the things they're doing.
right,
What are some of the things they're saying? What are the books they're reading? How can I better myself? And that works in finance too. And so a relationship with a local banker. And I'm gonna put JP Morgan Chase in my client, but
Go ahead, go ahead.
but I think from a banking perspective, just having a personal relationship with a banker that you can grow with, and a lot of times that's turnover in some banks.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to learn the financial tools to be successful, what it's gonna take to manage it, and you have to like educate yourself on the finance,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
blindly trust someone and say, "Oh, I got a financial advisor," because my CPA, and he know I'm gonna ask 1,000 questions.
right,
And it's not that I
right.
don't trust him, it's I want to
You need
understand.
to know.
Yeah, okay. So this is what I'm
Yeah,
doing. Okay, all right. And then I may research a little bit, but if I need more understanding from what they're saying, but in finance, you definitely gotta do that.
yeah. And to that point, I'm an educator.
Yes,
So when I go,
teacher of the year.
that appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I
I'm just
go
as proud as you.
places,
I'm right here in front of greatness.
oh,
So
I
yeah,
appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
99.
99.
Yeah.
So when I go places,
Hmm.
man, and ask questions, I literally say, I need you to explain this to me like I'm 5 years old.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
they can't explain it to me, if they can't break it down in the simplest terms, I'm not convinced you really know it.
That's right. Yeah.
So
You have to be able to break it down in layman's terms.
that's it.
Especially when and trust me, man. I guess the things I've done has put me into uh in contact with people with all walks of life. So you know I do this. I tell you like one thing I do. Like if I'm traveling. my wife and family know. They say, yeah, he gonna talk to that person. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a practice of
Yeah.
like talking to strangers,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of it is I'm generally interested in knowing who folks are, why they traveling, what they're doing, you know,
Yeah.
what they're hearing, and stuff like that. And you learn so much from people all the time. You know, I remember coming to you may not, I don't think you even saw me. Like you was at spring uh basketball thing this time. It was playing. You was playing somewhere down in Aldine, and it was halftime. And I was in the locker room, and you were addressing the team,
Uh-huh.
and I was in the back like, man, like this is just
I remember you took that picture
yeah, man, that messed
and you
me up.
sent it to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that messed me up. You know, just seeing like how in that adverse atmosphere,
Yeah.
you was able to shift the mentality of the team, and y'all won that game. Yeah, so like seeing people in different walks, you always like. My mom was an educator. She said, "You son, you're gonna always be learning,
Always.
even when you get out of school.
Always.
Like you get your degrees and all that, you gonna always be learning. And when the day you stop learning is the day you die."
That's it, man.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
So
That's good
yep.
stuff. All right, man. That's the 5, the 4. This brings us to the 3, man.
Mm,
3 recommendations. All
mm.
right. 1 book, 1 song, 1 podcast that has been life changing for you, or a combination of the 3. But I see you got the book, the song, and the podcast.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Give us your book. What book was life changing for you?
So I mean, like going back to what I think I had a mental shift and knowing that business is where I want to be was Rich
Mm-hmm.
Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's like
Yeah.
the basic book for every business. They're gonna read
Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad just because it talks about the philosophy. But
Different
yeah,
philosophies.
but
Yeah.
now I'm reading a book called Profit First, and it
Uh-huh.
basically takes the general accounting. It changes your business to more of a cash flow, transform your business from a cash flow perspective instead of working backwards, you work forward. And sales. The typical accounting formula is sales minus expenses equals profit.
Right.
So we
Right.
look at how much we make, and how much we spent. So this is where I gotta live. So that's my profit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you have to transform your business to where you make the sales, you take profit out, and then what's left is how you expense your
Take
business.
care of your other stuff.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so that's been transforming my mind and how I save and how I grow and preparing for the next phase of okay, here's the next opportunity. How can I fund that? Okay, I got this, and it talks about. It's a real good read. I'm still reading it, but it talks about having multiple accounts, because so many business owners, you may have that one account, and
Mm-hmm.
you got this coming up, payroll coming out, you got taxes coming out, you got this coming out, and how to separate those where you have those buckets of money, and you have account that's over here that you can't get easily access to, like
Yeah.
I can't just
Yeah.
pull up to this one, right? And it helps you have the discipline because when you are not in that structured environment and you in your business environment, that's what companies do.
That's good.
Yep,
That's good.
yep.
So Rich Dad Poor Dad, and
hmm
then currently reading Profit First. Who
Profit
wrote
first.
Profit First?
I can't tell you
Okay,
the
we'll look it up.
yeah,
We'll look
it's
it
the
up and
only
we'll
one
make
out
sure
there.
I drop it.
Profit first.
Profit First.
hmm
All right. So
hmm
that's the book. One song. One song that's been life changing for you.
Oh man, it's got to be "Don't Take Your Joy Away" on Kirk Franklin. What You Looking For album. That was like in the late '90s.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that song messed me up. That's really what like the Lord was really dealing with me in my life
Yeah.
and changing from the way I was living to the way I need to live. And so I always go back to that song. You know,
Okay.
when because if you got the joy of the Lord, you have strength, you got knowledge, you got provision, you got everything you need.
Good stuff, man.
So if I keep the joy and I have joy on me, then because I'm big on energy.
Yeah.
My wife would tell you, like, I'm
Yeah.
always telling
Yeah.
protect your energy.
That's man. That's
And
huge.
that's growth for me because I used to know how I felt straight out the back. Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so now I'm like, I'm in a step back. Let me preserve my energy and
Yeah.
don't because when you let people affect you like that, then your mind you can't you're making a temporary decision for a permanent solution.
Mm-hmm.
All those type of things
Yeah.
happen. Like so, you
Yeah.
got to be of sound mind
Yeah. That's good,
in
man.
life, business, family, everything. So protect your energy.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
So that
good.
song does that for me.
All right. So listen, man, I'm taking all the songs. I'm making a playlist
hmm
on Apple Music, man. So we've had a variety of guests. So
Yeah.
like they say on the Breakfast Club, the playlist is 50% righteous, 50%
Oh
ratchet.
yeah, I got some ratchets too. It depends on what type of day I have, what type of meeting I'm going to. Like if I need to If I'm going to
Yeah.
if I'm going to one of them meetings like a big pitch, and it's I gotta have that
There it
Louisiana
is.
third grade room, with some
There it
cash money,
is.
some no limit,
There it is.
I gotta hear it.
There it is. All
Yeah.
right, man. One podcast.
Oh, the network. There's no other one.
There it is.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's right
man,
here.
man. Listen, y'all tune in, man. The
Yeah.
network.
Tune
All
in
right.
network, man. Great host.
We going somewhere.
Yeah.
We going
And I'm
somewhere.
gonna help you get there. I'm gonna do everything I got. You got.
We going somewhere, man.
Yeah.
All right. 2 do. So we hit the
Mhm.
5, the 4, the 3. So now we're down to the 2. 2 do. 2
Mhm.
things that you plan to get accomplished in the next 90 days, 6 months, or a year. So you got something 90 days. What you got?
In 90 days, I wanna organize my time more that I can give back to young black males.
Yeah.
I do it on a more consistent basis. Like I help, yeah, man, my son does this, and I take time.
Yeah.
I help with Omega Gents, sparingly here when I'm not traveling. I just want to I'm really thinking about starting like there's so many programs, but like a institution
Yeah.
that I can take what I learned and the network of folks I have and pour into to some young males and support them in that way.
You know what, man? And there I'm a one, man, however I can help,
Hmm.
you know.
Oh yeah,
So let me know. And then man, I'm definitely gonna be in prayer with you about that because
yeah.
I'm watching. Man, I'm in the
You in
I say I'm on the front line.
you in the trenches.
You know what I'm saying?
Cause I call you all the time. Okay, man. Like
Yeah,
when my daughter was in high school. Okay, because these kids think differently than we did,
they do, man.
right? And
They
as
do.
parents, like you want, okay, what's the most effective way? Because one, I have 2 children, 2 different mentalities. I have to have 2
Yeah,
different approaches to parenting because they're
yeah,
2 different people, right?
yeah. That's real.
And so yeah, so you can't treat, and that's in the business too. As you in management and networking, you can't treat everybody the same. Like you got to meet people where they are,
That's right.
and that's where you find success. So yeah, I've always say, hey man, like what's this, what that, and I try to stay in tune with what's happening because they have so much it's instant access to debauchery.
They do, man.
It's access to foolishness, so
They
you gotta
do.
be in tune. You can't be that oblivious parent. I'm not a helicopter parent, but I'm hovering.
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm
man.
saying?
You have
Yeah,
to, man, we're a little more seasoned now.
yeah, yeah,
So, you have to hover.
yeah.
You have to hover. You got to give your kids room to
Room,
grow and make
absolutely.
mistakes, but you got to hover. And then with young men we need more mentors
Hmm.
in so many different areas. And the number one thing, if you're thinking about mentoring, man, the number one thing is just your time.
Yeah.
Your time without judgment. Meet these kids where they are.
Hmm.
We're talking about young men. Meet young men where they are, and man, and just give them your time
Yeah.
and your ear,
Yeah.
and you'll be surprised, man. All right, so that was the 5, the 4, the 3, and the 2. Man, this
Hmm.
brings us down to the 1. All
Wow.
right.
Hmm.
So this is one piece of unsolicited advice. One of the things we do here on the network is you don't ask, but we tell you anyway. All right. So one piece of unsolicited advice before we get out of here. What you got for us?
It's better to have and not need than need and not have.
Man, there it is. Y'all heard him say it again. One more time. Give it
It's
to us.
better to have and not need than need and not have.
All right. Listen, y'all heard the brother, man. Listen, Jabari, man, I sure appreciate your
Nah, man,
time today.
this has been a blessing to me, man.
Man,
Like
thank you
seeing
for
you
being
grow.
here today.
Yeah.
Listen, National Battle of the Band Experience
Hmm.
this weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
He gave you a list of all the things you have the opportunity to participate in.
Yep.
More than anything, man, y'all get out here and I want you to support the vision. All right. Support the vision, support young people, support these bands, support the community, support Greater Houston, right?
Hmm.
Man, just put the love in the atmosphere. Listen, y'all, this is the network. Every episode is designed to help you in one of 4 ways. We call these the funky 4 corners of life: physically, mentally, spiritually, or financially. I'm your host. My name is Michael Prejean. For Jabari Morgan, he's not a businessman, he's a business man.
Man.
Listen, this brother talked about scale. This brother talked about conviction. He talked about correction. He talked about walking with the Lord. Man, he gave props to his wife. So I don't know if y'all caught everything, but this brother gave y'all 360 degrees of how to improve your life, right? So man, thank you again for your time today. I truly, truly appreciate it. Y'all know what I always tell y'all before we get out of here. Man, y'all make sure you make love the culture. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
That's right.
99.
99 all day,
Been rocking.
man. Good stuff.
Good brother.